Wonderful, wonderful. Very wonderful. Do you see a snake over there? Aye. My God. Is he trained to dance like that? So there is no problem over there. No quarrel, no problem. This is how Skuma people are used to dance. They dance with a scorpion, a big python. Aye, my God. This is really traditional. This is really tradition. Ah, yeah. A young boy like that one, he don't fear a python. My goodness. Yeah. Wonders never ends. Wonders never ends. Are you eating a snake kidogo? Aya. Maajabu hayataweza kuisha duniani. Hii ndiyo tradition ya Wasukuma sasa. Uwaga wanacheza na nyoka, lakini wanaweza kucheza na fisi pia. Jamani, makofi kwao, makofi kwao. Kama unapenda utamaduni, makofi kwao. If you like tradition, please a big clap for them. Wow. Dr. Amani uzalendo umemshinda. Jamani, makofi kwa Dr. Amani. Safi kabisa. Wanamalizia Chukua Dr. Amani. Dr. Amani, nenda, wanakutaka. Yamekukuta leo. Jamani, makofi kwa Dr. Amani. Wapeni kampani, wapeni kampani. Subiri akupe hela. Dr. Amani, today is today. Tuwape ushirikiano, tuwape ushirikiano. Dokta, cheza kidogo. Jamani, makofi kwa daktari. Mama uzalendo umemshinda. Hey. Wamemchukua paka mzungu. Jamani, makofi. Haya. Please try to dance like them. Jamani, makofi kwa mgeni wetu. Mambo ni moto. Wanamalizia.
I think we are all awake enough to start our business. So today morning, I'm happy to introduce five finalists. We'll start with KUHAS, Professor Kilonzo. Then we have Bugando Medical Center. Dr. Samson will present. Art of PowerPoint presentation with Professor Joseph Kahamba. And then we have breast cancer screening Jepaigo by Dr. Mary Jetas. And also updates operating SMILE by Dr. Hamid Madal. Now, may I introduce to you now, our first presenter will be Professor Semvue Kilonzo. He's the Professor of Internal Medicine, Director of Postgraduate at KUHAS. He's representing the VC, Professor Erasmus Kamugisha. He's just here to introduce to us about the Catholic University of Health and Allied Sciences. Karibu, Prof.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yes, as I've been introduced, my name is Semvue Kilonzo. I'm Associate Professor of Internal Medicine. I'm not surgeon, so probably I'm not going to talk a lot about surgery, but my role in this activity is to introduce the Catholic University of Health and Allied Sciences to this important community of surgeons. So, since I am representing the CEO, I will read word by word exactly what has been written, and probably I will have to disclose if I add anything on top of that. So, Honorable Chairperson of the Tanzania Surgical Association, Dr. Olivia Kimario, distinguished guests, esteemed members of the Tanzania Surgical Association, ladies and gentlemen, it's both an honor and a privilege to address this esteemed gathering of surgical professionals. I'm delighted to introduce to you the Catholic University of Health and Allied Sciences, a premier institution dedicated to advancing health sciences, education, research, innovation, and service in Tanzania and beyond. Strategically located at Bugando Hill in Mwanza, within the Bugando Medical Center complex, KUHAS has remained committed to producing competent, ethical, and service-oriented health professionals who respond effectively to the needs of our communities and health systems. Since its establishment in 2003, the university has experienced remarkable growth expanding from fewer than 10 students to a vibrant academic community of more than 3,500 students today. This growth reflects our unwavering commitment to excellence in health professionals, education, and our contribution to strengthen Tanzania's health workforce. Today, I would like to briefly highlight QHAS through 4 key pillars that are particularly relevant to the surgical profession. First pillar is building the next generation of surgeons through training. Madam President, I'm not sure if she's around. Anyways, QHAS is fundamentally a teaching and training institution. Our core mandate is to produce highly skilled health professionals in medicine, nursing, pharmacy, medical lab sciences, public health, and other allied health disciplines. Through our strong partnership with multiple teaching hospitals, including Bugando Medical Center, Seketure Regional Referral Hospital, Chato Referral Regional Hospital, and Sengerema Designated District Hospital, we provide an excellent clinical learning environment where students are exposed to real-life surgical and clinical practice from the early stages of their training. To date, QHAS has trained thousands of health professionals at various levels, the majority of whom are serving Tanzanians across the country and making significant contributions to healthcare delivery. Within the field of surgery, QHAS has played a vital role in training undergraduate and medical students in essential surgical knowledge and skills, training postgraduate specialists in general surgery, orthopedic and trauma, and otolaryngology, and also promoting competence-based education with strong emphasis on patient safety, medical ethics, professionalism, and evidence-based surgical practice. Currently, nearly 120 postgraduate trainees are enrolled in surgical specialization programs. Among them, about 30 finalists are expected to graduate later this year, further strengthening Tanzania's surgical workforce. In addition, approximately 50 new trainees are expected to join these programs in the next academic year, beginning around November 2026. Through these efforts, QHAS continues to provide a steady and reliable pipeline of surgeons serving Tanzania and beyond. Second pillar is advancing surgical knowledge through research and consultants. Madam President, QHAS has increasingly emerged as a center of excellence in clinical and surgical research. The university supports research that addresses pressing health challenges facing Tanzania, particularly those affecting communities in the lake zone and other resource-limited settings. QHAS currently produces approximately 150 peer-reviewed publications annually, with a substantial contribution coming from surgical disciplines. Beyond generating scientific knowledge, QHAS research has contributed to national, regional, and global policy and practice in areas such as safe surgery, antimicrobial resistance, environmental health, vaccine optimization, and health systems strengthening. Furthermore, QHAS provides consultant services to government institutions and development partners, offering expertise in health systems, strengthening surgical capacity building, and policy development. Through this strong integration of research and consultants, QHAS ensures that evidence generated through research academic medicine directly benefits society. Working closely with Bugando Medical Center and other health facilities across the region, QHAS participates in surgical outreach services to underserved populations, health education and disease prevention campaigns, community surgical camps, and public health interventions focused on injury prevention and strengthening referral systems. Through these initiatives, surgery is extended beyond the walls of hospital and operating theaters to communities where the need is often greatest. We firmly believe that academic excellence must ultimately translate into societal impact. Fourth pillar is shaping future health system leaders. Madam President, beyond training competent clinicians and surgeons, KUHAS is deeply committed to producing ethical, visionary, and transformational leaders. Our university motto, which is discipline, diligence, and excellence, is reflected in the leadership positions occupied by our graduates across Tanzania and beyond. KUHAS alumni have raised to prominent leadership roles within hospitals, universities, professional associations, regulatory bodies, and government institutions. Notably, several senior leadership positions at KUHAS, including the VC himself, Bugando Medical Center, including the Director General herself, and our collaborating hospitals, including Seketure and Chato, are held by proud KUHAS alumni. Leadership development at KUHAS is intentional. It is nurtured through mentorship, student leadership, opportunities, professional responsibility, and exposure to real-world healthcare leadership environment. Madam President, allow me to conclude by sharing our vision for the future. As we gather under the theme Advancing Surgery in the Era of Artificial Intelligence and Universal Health Coverage for Tanzania, KUHAS recognizes the immense opportunities that technological innovation presents for surgical care, education, and research. We remain committed to expanding postgraduate surgical training programs, including PhD level training. Also strengthening research and technology-enhanced surgical education, deepening partnership with professional bodies such as Tanzania Surgical Association, and also supporting continuous professional development for surgeons nationwide. In line with this conference theme, I'm pleased to inform you that KUHAS is currently training a PhD candidate whose research focuses on artificial intelligence applications in surgery. And fortunately, I saw the candidate here. May I introduce to you Dr. Sonia Kimera. Can you please stand up where you are? Thank you. So this reflects, you may say, this reflects our commitment to preparing future surgeons and researchers for a rapidly evolving healthcare landscape. We firmly believe that the future of surgery in Tanzania depends on strong partnership between academic institutions, healthcare facilities, policymakers, and professional associations such as this one. Dear distinguished guests, KUHAS is more than a university. It is a center of transformation that shapes clinicians, surgeons, researchers, innovators, and leaders who serve both hospitals and communities. Before I conclude, I am proud to note that according to a recent international university ranking, KUHAS was recognized as the second best medical university in Tanzania, closely following MUHAS, a university that began 40 years before us. KUHAS was also ranked as the best private university in the country across all disciplines. So these achievements are a testimony to the dedication of our staff, students, partners, and leadership. So at KUHAS, through training, we build competence. Through research and consultants, we generate knowledge. Through community service, we deliver impact. Through leadership development, we shape the future of healthcare. We look forward to strengthening our collaboration with the surgical fraternity in advancing safe, accessible, innovative, and high-quality surgical care for all Tanzanians. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Kilonzo, for staying on time and the brief and the excellent narration of the growth of KUHAS. May I call upon then Dr. Samson Kichiba, Dr. Samson Kichiba will be presenting to us about, again, the milestone of Bugando Medical Center. He's an ENT surgeon, and he is representing the Director General of Bugando Medical Center. Karibu.
Dear surgeons, distinguished guests, good morning. Yeah, my presentation will be on Bugando Medical Center, milestones on surgery. I will be speaking English, Swahili, as well as Sukuma, as you have seen the traditional dance. So, Bugando Medical Center, habarini za asubuhi tena, mabibi na mabwana, madaktari bingwa upasuaji. So taongelea kidogo kuhusu Bugando Medical Center. So Bugando Medical Center is a referral zonal consultant and teaching hospital for the Catholic University of Health and Allied Sciences, KUHAS, located in Mwanza, Tanzania. This hospital serves the 8 regions of Lake Zone and the Western Zone, including this, some of the regions of the Central Zone. So it serves the catchment area of almost 23 million people, which is almost 1/3 of the Tanzanian population. So, as you can see in the picture there, Bugando Medical Center started early in 1970s, but it was built in 1967 by the Tanzania Episcopal Conference in partnership with the White Fathers from Germany. Hawa ndio walioijenga hospitali hii Mwanza hapa, ikiwa kipindi hicho, unaona hii picha ya kwanza, the first picture is what Mwanza was in 1967. Kwa kulikuwa hakuna hata magorofa haya mnayoyaona. It was that days. So hapa ilikuwa inaitwa Bugando Bugalika Kingdom. So kawa wakafyeka hapo, they started to build Bugando Medical Center. This second picture here is after the construction of Bugando Medical Center in 1970. Hii picha ya tatu hapo ndo Bugando Medical Center sasa after innovation na ikakaa vizuri. Na sasa Bugando inaonekana hivi, picha ya 4. This is Bugando Medical Center ilipotoka. So nitaka kuzungumza kwa sababu naongea kwenye Tanzania Surgical Associations. Surgeons wamekusanyika, tuangalie tumetoka wapi kama Bugando kwenye upasuaji. the evolution of surgery in Bugando Medical Center. So Bugando Medical Center kama nilivyosema imejengwa na kanisa Katoliki, lakini mwaka 70 tarehe 24 Mei it was nationalized, ikataifishwa na serikali, kwa hiyo ikachukuliwa, na mwaka 71 the late His Excellency Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere akaifungua rasmi hospitali inaitwa Bugando Hospital. Mwaka 85 Bugando Baraza la Maaskofu Katoliki pamoja na serikali iliendesha na hapo ikabadilika jina sasa hiyo ilikuwa ni mwaka 85. So Bugando Hospital mwaka 85 nilikuwa Bugando Medical Center. Ilikuwa na masajoni wawili, ilianza na surgeons wawili, Sister Bridget na Dr. Mohan. So hawa walikuwa joined na Dr. Makwani na Kisanga kutoka 71 mpaka 77 walikuwa na masajons wawili. So walivyokuja Dr. Makwani na Dr. Kisanga mwaka 77 hiyo, Sister na Dr. Sek wakaondoka. So Bugando ikabaki kuwa na 2 surgeons wazawa hawa. Rest in peace. Akawa na Dr. Kisanga miaka hiyo ya vita mwaka 78 77 hapo ya vita ya between Uganda and Tanzania. Kwa hiyo mnaweza mkaona hawa wazee they did a big job, wakafanya kazi kubwa kipindi hicho cha vita, pia wakiwa maeneo haya ambayo yalikuwa karibu na eneo la vita yenyewe, vita ya Kenya ya Tanzania na Uganda chini ya Idi Amin dada na baba wa taifa. So Dr. Kisanga akaondoka mwaka 81, akabaki Dr. Makwani peke yake, ambaye sasa naye alikuja kuwa joined na Dr. Salvatori Mutabihiru wa mwaka 82. Kwa hiyo mwaka 84 akaja Dr. Mabula Joseph JB, yupo mzee wetu huyu, mwalimu wetu. Lakini mwaka 86 pia akaja Dr. Bernard Muhina. Kwa hiyo wakawa masurgeons wanne mwaka 86. Hawa wazee walikuwa wanafanya surgery zote kutoka emergency neuro mpaka orthopedic mpaka zote za general surgeries. Kulikuwa hakuna hizi super specialized services. Kwa hiyo hawa masurgeon wanne wakatengeneza firm mbili Bugando. Firm A na firm B wakagawana, wakaanza kupiga kazi, practice surgery kwa kipindi hicho kwenye low limited resources, kwenye scarcity za resources na mambo kama hayo, lakini walifanya kazi kubwa. Kwa hiyo mwaka 98 akaja Dr. Ramesh Das mwaka 88 akawajoin firm A ambayo ilikuwa na Dr. Mutahibirwa na Dr. Muhina, lakini firm B ilikuwa na Dr. Makwani na Mabula. Mwaka 87 akaja Dr. Gilioma Jafet professor, alafu akawa joined mwaka 98 na Samson Simbila ambaye yupo mzee wetu. Kwa hiyo mpaka mwaka 99 tulikuwa na surgeons 7. So hii ndio evolution ya surgery inaenda. So hao masurgeons 7 mkumbuke sasa walikuwa wanafanya kila kitu kwa kanda ya Ziwa. Wakaondoka wengine akina Dr. Makwani, wakabaki masurgeons 4. Prof. Kilioma, Jafet. Kumbuke hao wote walikuwa general surgeons, lakini walikuwa wamedevelop interest kwenye maeneo kadha wa kadha. Professor Gilioma ambaye alikuja kuwa director of hospital services, yeye alikuwa general surgeon, lakini alikuwa na interest kwenye ENT na alifanya fellowship kwenye ENT na akawa mwalimu wa wengi. Profesa Gilioma pamoja na Ramesh Das, Samson Simbile na Joseph Mabula ndio wakawa sasa wakatengeneza the Department of Surgery, ndio General Surgery in Bugando Medical Center. Hiyo miaka hawa ndio wameleta mapinduzi kwenye maendeleo ya surgery Bugando Medical Center. Na hawa mpaka hapa tulipofika, hawa walikuwa wanajiita first generation ya Bugando surgeons. Baadaye sasa wakaja akina Dr. Filippo Charia, baadaye wakina Kotecha wamekuja, akina Washington. Hao ni almost third generation. Professor Maharu pia aliwajoin baada ya hapa, marehemu, rest in peace. So kipindi hicho Bugando kulikuwa na operating rooms 5. Almost kila surgeon hao wanne walikuwa na wamegawana vyumba, lakini chumba kimoja walikuwa interns wanatumia na death cases, lakini walifanya kazi kubwa. Lakini mpaka sasa hivi Bugando tumefika kipindi cha kwamba sasa tuna operating rooms almost 17 baada ya renovation kubwa iliyofanyika. Kwa hiyo tukaendelea, department zikakua, general surgery ikaendelea kuongezeka sasa, ikazaa orthopedic, ENT, urology, neurosurgery, pediatric surgery na surgeons. Mpaka sasa hivi tuko surgeons 71 Bugando Medical Center. Tumetoka kutoka kufanya hizo generals, tumeenda sasa kwenye super specialized services. Hata general surgeon wenyewe waliobaki na wenyewe wanaenda kwenye super specialization. Sasa hivi tuna hepatobiliary, tuna gastro na super specialization zingine. Kwa hiyo we are moving, lakini huwezi ukazungumza maendeleo ya surgery bila kuwa na collaborations. Collaborations zilianza toka kipindi hicho miaka hiyo ya 2090 walikuwepo American Orthopedic Surgeons overseas, walikuja wakaja na instruments nyingi. Kipindi hicho inasemekana hata the first sign nail kufanyika walifanya Bugando. Lakini hata hizi tunazosema sasa kwamba lazima twende kwenye minimal invasive surgeries, laparoscopic surgeries, zilifanyika kipindi hicho pia, japo sasa hakukuwa na mwendelezo kwa sababu ya poor low purchasing power. Hatuna uwezo wa kuendelea kununua vile vifaa baada ya wageni kuondoka. Kwa hiyo sustainability ya service ikawa iko poor. Lakini sasa tumeendelea kwa collaboration ndani na nje. Tunashukuru sisi kama Bugando, tunafurahi. Muda mfupi uliopita tulifanikiwa kupandikiza figo kwa mara ya kwanza kwa kushirikiana na Benjamin Mkapa Hospital na wenzetu wa Chuo Kikuu cha Dodoma, na haya ni matokeo ya collaborations za ndani lakini vile vile za nje, kwa sababu collaborations zinaongeza capacity building, collaborations zinaongeza uwezekano wa kuacquire instruments za kisasa ili kuweza kuinnovate zaidi na kuwa na safe surgical practices kwenye nchi yetu na kwa kuwahudumia Watanzania wetu. So kwa conclude tu, kwa sababu ya muda, nitaka highlight kidogo kwamba lazima tuendeleze sasa kwenye ukuaji wa hizi idara zetu, tutrain vijana wetu, lakini tutrain na kuwaretain. Kwa mfano Profesa Maharu, the late Prof, rest in peace, alitrain cardiothoracic, akawatrain, lakini walivyokuja Bugando akashindwa kuendeleza cardiothoracic kwa sababu wale walitakiwa pia waende wakafanya majukumu mengine, wakachukuliwa wakaenda JKCI kwa wenzetu, wakaanzisha hiyo JKCI, ambapo ndo Profesa Maharu akawa mwenyekiti wa bodi wa muda mrefu. Lakini vision yake ya kuwa na Bugando Cardiac Institute sisi bado tunayo, and we are going to build a Bugando Cardiac Institute kwa kumwenzi. So future tunaendelea na tutakuwa na institutes hizo kama Bugando Cardiac Institute, lakini na Bugando Neuroorthopedic Institute. So surgeries Bugando imekuwa kwa kiwango hicho toka miaka hiyo mpaka sasa. Baada ya kusema hayo, basi mimi nawashukuru sana. Thank you so much for listening. Nimeshukuru sana kuzungumza mbele ya umati huu. Karibuni Mwanza, karibuni kanda ya Ziwa. Tumsifu Yesu.
Makofi mengi kwake.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samson, for that great milestones. I was very happy to learn that one of my classmates, Dr. Simbila, is also proud of being the founders or the team for general surgeon in Bugando. Now may I call upon Professor Joseph Kahamba, who is going to take us through the art of PowerPoint presentation. Professor Kahamba is a professor in neurosurgery and the current dean of Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy at Kampala International University of Tanzania. May I not use too much about his CV. He's got a great CV, but suffice to give that brief summary. Professor, karibu sana.
So as to save time, while they're putting it up, let me say good morning. And may I take also this time, may I take this time also to acknowledge and say thanks to the organizers. Yeah, so we can start. So thank you very much for this opportunity. The topic is the art of oral scientific presentation. And I found this to be very necessary because I've met quite a number of times that my colleague would take a young chap and say, go to Bugando or go to Mwanza, there is a meeting, go and present this. And these young chaps and other people don't have a clue as to how a presentation should be. And therefore, whenever we had an occasion to do this, we have given some training to our surgeons so that they at least have a hint as to what a presentation should be. So, yeah. And I thought that because this cuts across, I should dedicate this presentation to all my esteemed colleagues whom we rubbed shoulders during. I've had 7 years of medical school. So I'm told it's not coming over. There. Is it okay? Yes, so I was saying I think it is good to dedicate this to all my colleagues and for the aim of inspiring our next generation. There has been 7 years of medical school, 1 year of internship, 4 years of medical officer, 3 years of surgery residence, 2 years of general surgery practice, after which followed 4 years of neurosurgical residency or training, making a total, and then came after that a total of 32 years of neurosurgery practice. And this makes a total of 52 years. So I think, thank you. All this is by God's grace, I think, and nothing else. So that is the outline of our presentation, of this presentation. One is that fear. When you're presenting or you're going to present something, there is always a fear. We all have a fear. And where does this fear come from? You are afraid you may look stupid while presenting. You are also afraid that the presentation may flop. You are thinking that the audience may rip you apart, or that you may bore the audience. Sometimes you may forget what to say in the course of your presentation. And the commonest problem that we have is overshooting, going beyond the time that you have been allocated. Now, where does this come from? We all have a need to be perfect. That is a problem. And you want to cover maybe too much in too short a time, or you want to please everybody in the audience. Sometimes you want to emulate other speakers, and sometimes it is about audience criticism, and this gives you fear. So how do we alleviate that fear? First and foremost is knowing your subject. As they say, no data, no right to speak. So you should know the subject you are about to present. You should also know your audience. What audience do you have? Is it a mixed audience? Do you have only undergrads? Do you have master's people and so on? Preparedness. You must prepare. Don't say that I'll just go there and present. You must prepare. You must rehearse. If you fail to prepare, you have prepared to fail. So preparation is very important. Comforting. To comfort yourself, you must remember that all speakers that you see coming here suffer from a degree of nervousness. And you should know that good speakers have had a hard work towards that and practice. So again, I'm repeating, you must prepare yourself. But this nervousness sometimes is necessary. You need a little bit of some adrenaline to stimulate you. So don't worry very much about the nervousness that you may have. Now, while you have this fear and you want to alleviate it, you'll have to answer the questions which refer to your presentation. One is, why is that presentation? What, who, how, where, and when? Now, why? The why shall be answered because you must insist on the underlying question that the presentation you're making seeks to address. It may be posed as a question. For instance, is Mwanza a big, beautiful city? That is posed as a question and you have to answer that. Or, is a big, beautiful city? That is posed as an answer. You must come with an answer. Then, you should come out with the relevance of the work that you have done versus an important scientific principle which you are trying to address. And it also refers to the basic idea of the whole scientific story that you are presenting. So while doing that, you must focus on one single issue. You should tune this to the interests of the audience. And what is also very important is that you should balance facts, the facts versus giving an exciting, interesting story. You need both, but you should have a balance between those. You know your audience. Who are they? What is their level? What is their background? Is it mixed? I said this earlier. What they already know about the subject you are presenting, you should find out before you present. Will they be interested? It's stupid to go and present something which the audience is not interested. How fast will they absorb the information? What about their prejudice, their attitudes, their beliefs? What do they want from you? The audience wants something from you. Now, still about the audience, you, the presenter, should have a positive attitude to the audience. Don't be negative to them. And what you are presenting is a dialogue. Avoid a monologue, like you're talking at a certain level, which bore people. You should know that the audience acceptance is key to the success of your presentation. So, before you present, even a day earlier, find out who are to be in attendance. Will Akoko be there? What questions will he pose? Will Ngiloi be there? Will some other gentleman there, and so on? If you know that, you know how to stand and address that. Now, this graph shows us on the left axis, the vertical axis, is about what you know. I'm referring to the audience. What do they know? Now, at the scale of from nothing, they know nothing, to knowing everything. And you should be careful. One is that you are not there to show an encyclopedia of knowledge. Don't think that you are going there to just show how much you know, or demonstrate your statistical and methodological skills and so on. You are likely to switch off the audience. They may lose interest with this excess detail. Don't invite, actually excess detail may also invite awkward questions at the end of your presentation. So be careful, because your goal is just to communicate. It is to transmit the right information, and you must present only a subject of your work. People now are very much aware about plagiarism, and that is not very good. Present your work. How? How do you present? One important part is what they addressed earlier, is that slides, the slides that you have, there are 3 rules. One, these slides must be clear. They must be simple and necessary. Actually, this slide we are on now is a great example of what a slide should be. Clear, simple, necessary. Make sure that each slide doesn't go beyond one single point of focus. How about legibility and the font that you are using should be. Lettering. The lettering should never be too big. Don't think your lettering is too big. It can go as big as you can. You must time the slide because they will give you time to present. Use colors to maximize contrast, and use size to prioritize your information. Other aids, equations, for instance. You are doing some scientific thing and you have equations. There are rules. Rule number 1 is don't do it. Don't use equations in your presentation. There is rule number 2. And rule number 2 is there is no rule number 1. There is no rule number 2. So you should always go to rule number 1. But you can use alternatives. And you may use a graph to show for the equation. You may sketch physical concept and so on. Only that you should be careful that the graphs are clearly labeled, they are not very busy, and that you have a line which demonstrates the conclusion which you want to come out of that graph. One area where we make mistakes is when you want to use these graphs or illustrations, then you want to reuse them. Don't you use that same thing, going back, scrolling back, looking for it. Let we go back to that slide, and you must use duplicates. Beware when on the how again, think about the allotted time that you have been given, and allot about 80% of your presentation to that. You must have well-chosen slides with good outlines. You can have a cheat sheet to help you. That doesn't matter. But the most important thing is, as you're presenting, keep onto the central part of your presentation. But there are some peripheral supportive issues which are necessary. When that be the case, they should be minimal, brief, and you should distinguish the start and the end so as to bring your people to the center of your presentation. That's why you hear some people, politicians, quote unquote. That is what they want to say. The structure is you have to have a title which is clear in a nutshell. You should acknowledge people with whom you worked, and you should do what we call a zooming in. At the beginning, you zoom in. We repeat this. Don't have a labyrinth of knowledge, shortcuts or alternate routes that or have interconnections which are unfamiliar to audience. Avoid hyperbole and jargon. You say maybe this is as big as an elephant. It doesn't make any sense, right? Analyze fuzzy borders between evidence and speculation. Be clear to tell the people what is speculation and what is really clear. As I said, you have an opening, zooming in, you explain your objectives. You may have only 3 to 5 key points, not many. And then there must be a bridge between the points that you are making. And then a summary which is zooming out. And you will have questions and closure. The attitude that you have, self-confidence. You must be self-confident. Dress to succeed. Don't go to present something either overdressed or underdressed. This shows your respect for the audience, and it also shows the willingness.
Very much. A round of applause again. So our next speaker, we'll have dual speaker. First introduce the first one, Dr. Mary Rose Giatas. Please come up to the podium. Dr. Mary Rose Giatas, she's the technical lead of the JPIGO in West, East, and Southern Africa, dealing mainly in women, cancer and immunization, and primary health care. He's also the project director for the breast cancer project in Tanzania. He will have a dual presentation with Dr. Jackson Chiwaligu. He's the regional surgeon at Isekoture Regional Hospital. So, Dr. Mary, please, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. You can imagine you're presenting after Professor Kahamba. Professor Kahamba upo toka basi ni present. So, on behalf of the Ministry of Health and also Prime Minister Office, JPIGO, and our founder of the project, who is called Pfizer Foundation, may I please present what we have done in Tanzania in 9 different regions targeting breast cancer with the name of the project, which is called Beat Breast Cancer Project. So I want to declare my interest. I was born yesterday and I turned 57 years yesterday. So for all who are below 57, marahaba kubwa sana, and for all those who are above 57, shikamo. So our title of our presentation will be how we have been able to decentralize diagnostic services for breast cancer for men. And we have identified 4,000 plus with abnormal breast cancer disease, which include benign as well as malignant. But we have also made sure 3,000 plus have received diagnostic services, which includes breast imaging, core needle, fine needle, etc. And among them, we've identified 331 women with confirmed breast cancer disease. So when you look at our approach, because we are aligning with WHO targets, so 184 out of 331 women have received comprehensive services. They are still on treatment, and only 43 have completed treatment. So when you look at the statistics, out of 331, 56% have started the comprehensive treatment. So we are doing very well in the pillar 2, timely diagnosis, whereby 99% of our patients have received confirmatory diagnosis in less than 60 days. You'll see more of that. But 41% for pillar 1. So we have confirmed 41% of our patients were in stage 1 and stage 2, but we are not doing very well on the treatment component. So with that note, can I please invite my fellow presenter, Doctor, to proceed the next session. Karibu.
Thank you. So I'll take you through the decentralization of diagnostic services. Through this project, we've been able to procure equipment and develop the training manual or SOP by collaborating with surgeons and pathologists. So this training module it's a 4-day training, which day 1, trainees will be put through theory and simulation practices. And on the following 3 days, these trainees will practice on clients, on patients. So we had to mobilize women with abnormal CBE, and these trainees were given opportunity to practice fine needle aspiration for cytology and to perform core needle biopsy. And during this period of time, we've been able to build capacity in 55 diagnostic hubs across all areas where the project is taking place. So far, over 150 clinicians and nurses have been trained in core needle biopsy from the year 2024 to the year 2025 across those regions. And out of the over 400 core needle biopsies which were done, we were able to confirm breast cancer cases in 331 patients, as my colleague has presented. This again is to stress or to reinforce on what she has already said. We have managed to surpass the target of WHO, where it needed for the diagnostic time to be within 60 days. But for us, we've been to reach it at 15 days. That is the median turnaround time to get from the time a patient is taken core needle biopsy to the time we get histopathological report. It is within 2 weeks. So this is a big plus for us. So finally, what have we learned over the course of this 1.5 years in this project?
Samahani kidogo. Naomba media nje, mgeni rasmi amefika. Naomba media nje. Tunaweza tukapause kidogo. Samahani kwa kuinterrupt.
Makofi. Baada ya wimbo huo, moja kwa moja tuende kwenye kipengele cha welcoming remarks and introduction of delegates. Naomba TSA Honorable Secretary Lazaro Mboma, karibu.
Asante. Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and members of Tanzania Surgical Association. Welcome to 31st TSA Scientific Conference and AGM that is held here in Mwanza. Before we continue, I would like to recognize the presence of our guest of honor, Honorable Saidi Mohamed Mtanda, the Regional Commissioner of Mwanza. I would like to recognize the presence of Regional Medical Officer, the President of Tanzania Surgical Association, Dr. Olivia Kimario, immediate past President, Dr. Amani Malima, the past presidents of Tanzania Surgical Association,
Okay. Dr. Professor Kahamba, Professor Akoko, Dr. Ngiloi, Dr. Catherine Mngongo. I'd like also to recognize the presence of the council members of Tanzania Surgical Association. I'd like to recognize the presence of the representative from KUAS,